Hey guys, Taro here. Welcome back to the GT Online video, this time Dangerous Road Rally episode 6. If you did miss the previous one or any ones in this series, remember to go and check the ones out so you know the rules for this series on the times of the cars that have gone before. So the first of the three cars today is the Yosemite in the muscle cars class. So could set a decent time, probably somewhere in the top 10 I would imagine, but as you can see it is pretty low down, so it might have a few ground clearance issues. But once it actually moves, it does raise up a bit. It's just when it's completely stationary like this, is when it goes down to the floor. But still, it doesn't raise up that much higher, so it might still scrape the floor a little bit. But the main problem with this car, I'm feeling, is probably going to be the brakes, because the brakes on this thing are pretty terrible, if I'm honest. You can still take the corner cut though, just about, we get a bit of a wiggle on there, so this thing has still got some it's got some good grip for a muscle car. But the brakes are going to be what kills it. And you see the power, you see the engine revving out. It wants to put the power down, but being a muscle car, it can't really do that, and I have to be careful that I don't go too slow, so the car doesn't just go back down to the ground again and just get completely stuck, and that's a horrible line. But we're through the first sector with quite a few issues, so might not actually end up being a top 10 time once I actually get a run out of this car. Well, we're into the sector of doom on the first run, so it's going alright so far. Definitely not going to be the quickest of runs, definitely not going to be challenging the top cars like the Zentorno. But heavy under braking, can we just hold this? No! We're going straight into the trees. Ow. Cartwheel, and this thing is going straight into the drink, isn't it? No way, this is going to explode. No! Ow! How did this actually stop before it hit the drink? Now, getting through the first sector, heavy under braking, just mentioning to avoid the wall of death, and now into the sector of doom once again, and getting a bit twitchy, which I would expect from a muscle car, especially, well, just muscle cars in general, especially ones that aren't on off-road wheels, which none of mine are. Now I'm going to go very slow over the jump, almost going to a complete stop to go over the jump, because that's how little trust I have in the car. But now then, we're getting into the second sector, and going straight off the second sector, but can we hold it? No, that's going around in the circle. Oh, it's getting a little bit offline, and I thought I could hold it, but now we're just going to go play down the bottom of the mountain again, aren't we? This is going to be painful. Okay, where are we? Okay, oh, he's stuck, so we're getting a bit, quite a few vibrations, but yeah, this isn't a fun place to have got stuck in. The lack of steering in this car really is proving to be quite an issue. I mean, it's not an issue that I foresaw. I thought that the brakes would be the issue and just it being a muscle car wanting to spin out, but just with its lack of steering input and just a bit of understeering feeling as well, it's counteracting muscle car oversteer, which is a good thing I guess, but at slow speeds it just can't change direction as much as I want it to. So pretty much like the BMW Williams from my F1 Union 1 career, works brilliantly at high speed corners. Well, through the low speed corners it just doesn't want to know and just doesn't want to put the power down or do anything that you want it to. Now so we've got through the first sector every run so far, so that's a good sign at least. If we can get through the first sector, and oh, the brakes are horrible. And now coming into the second sector of doom, something looks like it's smoking a bit. And maybe just been a bit of dust. It doesn't look like something was smoking. I mean, this isn't BMNG Drive, the car's just not going to combust. Although, like the Felon, it might. I mean, could we actually go for a third explosion in the car in a row? I mean, we've still got two other cars yet to go. So, hopefully this isn't the one that's exploded. It's getting a bit foggy, I've noticed, as well. So, visibility is not going to be a premium. I don't get why, it's just one of those glitches, once again, where stunt races don't work properly anymore. And you put the weather to noon. And because stunt races don't have weather, you get the free mode condition of weather, plus it being sunny. And we're into the final sector, and this has not been a quick run, but we have made it to the final sector, and the only worry now is that braking zone for the final chicane, because this thing has terrible brakes and is likely not going to stop. So I'm going to go heavy under braking very early there, almost coming to a complete standstill, so we could have gone a bit later there, but didn't have the trust in the brakes around the final corner now. Over the final jump, we're getting a bit of a nosedive there. Now coming up to the finish line, going to be finishing upside down, and that's not the best of landings at the end, but I don't think that's going to be the quickest of runs. I mean, it felt okay, but I still think it should be a top 10 run, but it just depends where it is. Moving on now to the second car, and it's the Feltzer. in the sports class, so could set a good time, but the only problem with this car is it's rear wheel drive, which isn't going to help for a start, and like quite a few of the newer cars at least in the game, at the slower speeds it does like to spin the wheels quite a lot, so not the best at putting the power down. So you see there off the start, that massive trail of rubber it just left. That's not going to be good for getting around the slower speed corners. But brakes, everything else, speed, power, all that, that's good. Just trying to put the power down is what's going to be this car's issue. Also, it's quite low to the ground as well, but I think just with the power of it, it should easily have enough speed to get over that issue of low ground clearance. And now the brakes are really good actually. It almost coming to a stop there, thinking it was going to be slower than that. Oh, it's a bit of a wiggle. That's going to cost us time. So it's not been the best run here through the first sector. I think it's just the issues just showing themselves now. Just try to put the power down at slow speeds and just can't really do it, so it just wiggles out everywhere. And now coming, oh, nudge the rock there, which getting a bit offline, so been quite a scruffy run there through the first sector, down to the sector of doom, very, very slowly, getting a bit crossed up there. But it's been okay so far, taking out one of the posts. So the thing this post was indestructible actually, but it turns out they are. And now coming to the jump of doom on the first run, coming be okay over here. Oh, almost coming to a complete standstill there, way too much on the brakes, but it's been okay so far. Now then, coming into the corner of doom, very, very tentatively. And then out the other side, going to put the power down now. Can we try and get okay through there? Yes, we do. Oh no, things have gone wrong. We found a rock. And, well, bye-bye Feltzer. Is this going to be another explosion? It's going to be painful if it's not. And are we going to stop? Just before the drink, actually. So, the Feltzer there can't be much closer to going in the drink without drowning there. I find some decent traction on this lap, so definitely going a lot faster on this run than the previous one. And now, oh no, we hit into the wall! Ow. Ow. I thought we were going to get impaled then. But no, things have not gone well. We're going to end up by the drink now. Actually, you're going to stop round about here, are we? Yeah, somewhere about here, so still good signs that it can push this car. It's just about finding the right lines. I think if I can get a good run out of this car, it might be in the top 3 actually, maybe even fastest, trying to beat out the retinue, since the retinue is the complete underdog of being at the top. I had no way did I think that was going to top the timing sheets, and since it's in the sports classics class, it's not even nowhere near being the fastest car on paper of the cars that will take on this course. So if the Feltzer can get a good run, then it really just proves just pretty much proves what class of the car in doesn't actually matter to where it could finish, since the Renews in sports classic class beating up the Zentorno, which is in the supers class, and third place is the Sadler, which is in an SUV. So pretty much just proves your car class doesn't mean anything, and since most of the cars in this game are in the wrong class anyway, that pretty much just proves that point even more. And now coming through the first sector, okay run through the first sector, not the fastest. I've definitely gone faster through that first sector. Just now try and hook up now this middle sector of the lap. And then coming over to the jump very, very tentatively, managed to make that work, do we? Just about get a bit crossed up there under braking, but it's been okay so far. Now coming up to the corner of doom, can try and get this right, running out a bit wide, but we managed to get around there okay. Go for the corner cut line here, because that's not going to be a problem in this car. Nice and controlled over there, now into these cambered corners, over the jumps, into the second corner of doom, managed to get through there okay as well. Now heavy under braking now, coming up to bridge corner. Can we make it work? Nice and tentatively under bridge corner, make that work. Now into the final sector, and there shouldn't be too many issues through this sector of the lap. Well, issues have happened in this final sector before, and I can put all that Feltzer power down. Our heavy under braking, just get the car started. I was going to complete standstill there, the brakes are that good on this thing. Now then, run a final corner now over the little jump. Now to the finish line. I've got a feeling that this has been a pretty decent time, but it didn't feel quite fast enough to top the timesheets. Coming on to the final car. I get a feeling this video is going to be quite short, given the first 2 cars did the run in under 6 minutes total time of trying to get it done. But the final car today, the Rapid GT Classic, in the Sports Classics class, and since the Retinue topped the timesheets, this is in the class which could do something really good and maybe even set a new fastest time. So it's got some decent amount of power. On paper, it's the 4th fastest Sports Classic, but the rulebook and formbook on this track, you can just completely throw it out the window because it means absolutely nothing. Got some good power in this thing. The only problem with this car is a bit of oversteer. The brakes are decent in this car as well, so it could be a really fast run from this car. If you can just get lines right. That's a bit offline there, so not the fastest run through the first sector, but getting quite a bit of power there. That's a lot faster than I was thinking this car was actually going to go through this first sector. Putting that power down, it's a bit of an issue, getting a bit of a wiggle on there, a bit of wheel spin, pretty much like in the Feltzer that they just ran, but not as noticeable in this car for spinning up the wheels. Now putting that power down, you can see we've got a lot of wheel spin there, so it's got a lot of power, just not got the traction to go with it, and that's been an interesting run there, with the second part of the end of the first sector. Now past the wall of death now, into the sector of doom, nice and early on the brakes there, trying to get turned. Everything's gone okay through there so far. You get a really nice run there, so really nice, getting a bit of a slide on there, so it's been a really, besides that little interesting line, it's been a really good run so far. And oh no, things have gone wrong. Things have gone wrong. Did get a backflip at least, and ow. This is going to go straight in the drink. There's no way this is stopping. Ow. No way. Ow. Straight in the drink. And, well, first guy in the drink, so you can get out the other side. No. We're not getting out of here. Sector. Once again, much better than the last time. I try and get up here okay. Yes, we do put the power down early. So that's been a much better run through the first sector. Avoiding the wall of death, running out a bit wide there. Still nothing to worry about. Now heavy under braking. Heavy under braking. Not heavy enough under braking. And that's straight into a tree. Okay, so this video might not end up being as short as I thought it was going to be. I was just going to reverse quite a way actually through the sector. In the end of the straight line speed competition, if there was one. Through the first sector, going up to the end of the first sector, being a decent run through here once again, and oh no, bit of understeer, and there's no way you can stop from that. This car really does have the potential to maybe even go fastest, because it's faster on paper than the retinue. But it just depends, just with the understeer, if you get a little bit offline, then there's no saving the car. But you have to keep it, if you can keep it online, you can get a, because it's got the pace to be nice and fast, and set a really competitive time, I feel. It's just about finding the right lines, as you saw on the last one there. Just to get a little bit offline, there's no saving it. Now here under braking there, getting a nice run through this corner once again. Yeah, so you can get some good turning on this thing. So something that I'm not really seeing from any of the cars so far, braking when going around corners, something that's actually really good in this car. Now it's past the wall of death, and the wall of death actually yet to claim a victim today. It's just everywhere else which is claiming victim so far. Now into the sector of doom, been okay so far. A bit of a power slide there, it's going to cost us a little bit of time. Not been the fastest run here coming up to the jump, but it's been okay so far. Now over the jump nice and slowly. That's not worked out. Actually, yes it has, just about. Oh, we're offline. We're offline, we managed to somehow save it. The track there a bit wider than I thought it was going to be. Now into the corner of doom, made that okay. Now go for the corner cut line and make that work as well. And now coming over now the cambered corners. Into the second corner of doom, through there okay. Put the power down out the other side. And now then coming up to bridge corner. It's a bit of a power slide there. Not the fastest run up to bridge corner, but we're okay out the other side of it. And now into the final sector of the lap. Trying to put the power down now. Oh, we're getting a bit offline. That's not been the fastest way to get through the final sector. Now can put all the power down now. Heavy under braking. And we just managed to get that work actually perfectly there. Now around the final corner they go turning a bit too early. We managed to get away with it. Put the power down the other side. Get a bit of power slide on. Lost quite a bit of time there through the final few corners. But I still think that time definitely should be in the top 5 at least. Maybe top 3. But I just think on the end of it there, I don't think that's been enough to beat the time of the retinue. So taking a look at where today's 3 cars get into the leaderboard, and the Rapid GT Classic would be the fastest of today's cars, sitting on 1 minute 45.5, and would get into the top 5 only just. The benefactor Feltzer gets into 7th place with a 1 minute 47, so kind of about where I thought it would have been. Don't think it's going to be anywhere near challenging the top pace, but slower than the Insurgent, which is a surprise. And then the Yosemite all the way down in 11th. But it was in the top 10 technically because of the first car that went. So if you enjoyed this episode of Dangerous Road Rally, remember to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and check out my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all linked in the description down below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.